Also tonight, new information about a teenager in trouble for digging up an urn at a Batavia cemetery.
Yeah, he told us all that he wanted was the ashes of his late father, but now we're told the wrong remains were removed from that gravesite.
13 WHAM's Rachel Glazer is back to explain.
You know, the family is still trying to make sense of this. The fact that the wrong urn was taken seems to make it even worse, because some of those ashes were poured out. The teen said he just wanted to keep a piece of his dad.
Oh my gosh, so many emotions, hurt, disappointment, a lot of tears.
The dirt at the gravesite is still very fresh. Frank Schiavi's sibling was just laid to rest for a second time.
I mean, every time I think about it, I'm just baffled.
What he calls a violation, his nephew calls an act of love.
No one really gets it. So I went over to the cemetery, grabbed a shovel, just lifted up the dirt, and I found it, and I kind of just broke down emotionally right there, and I'm like, wow, like, Dad.
But relatives say Pike dug up the wrong grave and took the remains of his aunt, not his father.
You know what I mean? It just made everything 10 times worse.
His brother and sister's ashes were buried side by side, but in very different urns. Schiavi says his brother's was sealed, not screwed shut.
I put the screws back on, and I kissed it. It was just so hard giving it up, you know, like that. Just like I had them in my hands at once and just had to give it away.
Now 18, Pike was adopted at the age of 3. A couple of years ago, he decided to track down his birth parents, and not long after he discovered his dad's identity, he learned he had died. Steve Schiavi was killed in a hit-and-run in 2006.
It's like ripping, you know, it's just, I never thought it'd be that close to my dad. Like, I can't hug him.
Pike says he visited the gravesite regularly to talk to his dad, but he needed more.
They might have saw disrespect, but he's my father, you know, he's my father.
Pike doesn't know he took the wrong ashes. Relatives say they don't want to hurt him, but they do want justice.
He just went in blatantly, with no regard for the law, no regard to any of the family's feelings, took this upon himself and did what he did.
The family says they do want charges filed. Now, everyone seems sympathetic to the situation, but investigators say when a crime like this is committed, the person's reasoning doesn't make a difference. Jenny?
All right, thank you, Rachel.